Hello, 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 and welcome back to another edition of FanSock, your favorite podcast by your favorite fan. That is, of course, me, Kyle Brinchley, in the house on this Friday, college football playoff opening night Friday. We got the posters, we got the candle, we got the sign. Welcome to FanSock. FanSock's a podcast by the fans, for the fans. If you're new here, welcome. We talk sports. But we talk sports simply. We do it the fans' way. We talk about what we want to hear. We talk about what we think is important, and we let our voices be heard here on FanTalk. FanTalk's a podcast you can find anywhere you get your podcasts. I also upload on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, hello, please like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below. I really appreciate it. All right, guys, it is finally here. The college football playoff kicks off tonight. Number 8, Oklahoma hosts number 9, Alabama in Norman, Oklahoma. We're super excited. And then tomorrow, holy cow, tomorrow is football heaven. We have not 1, not 2, but 3 college football playoff games plus 2 NFL games. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be sweet. We're so excited. We will be talking NFL playoffs here in just a minute. I won't be making my picks like I usually do, but I will show you the NFL playoff picture, what teams need to do to qualify, what teams are already in as we wind down the NFL season. But first, let's start with the college football playoff. Oklahoma, Alabama, a rematch from just a couple weeks ago, just over a month ago. Alabama hosted Oklahoma. Oklahoma was 7-2 at the time. And pretty much if they lost, they were out of the college football playoff, right? You know, they had already lost 2 games. At the time, a lot of people were saying you lose 3 games, you're probably out of the conversation. Alabama had only lost 1 game at that time to a 5-7 Florida State team. They were heavy favorites at home against Oklahoma, but they forgot what happened in 2024 when they played Oklahoma. They were heavily favored on the road. Oklahoma was 5-5, going for probably their worst season in recent memory. And they shut Alabama down, won 24-3. When was the last time Alabama did not score a touchdown? That was that game. But before then, I couldn't even tell you. Oklahoma has Alabama's number. They own Alabama. And I would be remiss not to say that this matchup is another opportunity for Oklahoma to show them who's boss. It's an opportunity for Alabama to right the wrong, to prove all the haters out there that, hey, we do belong in the college football playoff, even though we have 3 losses. And we got in over multiple teams that only had 2 losses. Now, of course, the committee really likes Alabama. They like what they've seen, even though they've been limping the last few weeks. Let's be real. Now, Oklahoma hasn't been too pretty themselves. Oklahoma has won games because of their defense and their special teams. Their offense has been not good. In fact, their offense is the lowest rated offense in the field. So teams like Tulane, James Madison, they got better offenses than Oklahoma. So this is going to be a game, if I were to preview it now. Oklahoma is 1.5 favorites. A lot of people are picking Alabama. A lot of people like Alabama better. Oklahoma is slightly favored at home. If I were to preview this game right now, I would say this. Oklahoma wins this game if their defense plays lights out like they did last time in Tuscaloosa, lights out like they did against LSU, lights out like they did against Missouri. Oklahoma wins if their special teams comes up with some big plays. The 2 touchdowns that Oklahoma had in that Tuscaloosa game, one of them came off a turnover, pick 6. The other one came off special teams. A fumble. They forced a fumble on a punt return, set them up in good position. That's also how they scored on their first possession as well, a big punt return. So can their special teams be better than Alabama's special teams? And it wouldn't hurt if their offense could score on their own, could do something. If their offense can score 2 touchdowns, their defense can create another opportunity, their special teams can create another opportunity. If you score more than 20 points against this Alabama team, you're going to win with this Oklahoma defense. Oklahoma is not going to allow Alabama to put up 30 plus points. Oklahoma, let your defense do your thing. Let your special teams do your thing. Offense, you score a couple times, you have this game. Alabama will win this game if they have no run game. So at this point, there's no point in trying to go to the run game. There's no point in trying to work on something that's not working. What does work is Ty Simpson. Ty Simpson's an incredible quarterback. 3 years he sat on the bench behind other quarterbacks. He watched, he learned, he developed, and he got his shot this year. He can be phenomenal. He has huge upside, huge potential, very skilled, very talented. He's been struggling recently. So if he plays at his best, if Alabama can score 24 points in this game, they'll probably win. That's just the bottom line. Oklahoma, they're probably only going to score 17 to 23 points. That's their range. They're going to score 17 to 23. So if Alabama can score 24, they'll win the game. Can Alabama's offense carry them? Their defense is not bad. Their defense will do fine against a subpar Oklahoma offense. But can they limit mistakes on offense? If they do, Alabama will win. My personal opinion, as hard as it is to beat a team 3 times, 13 months, especially a team like Alabama that has the culture, if any team can bounce back, it's Alabama. If any team can win, it's Alabama. I'm going with my Oklahoma Sooners. A Boomer Sooner, baby. At home in Norman. Their 5th college football playoff appearance. This is a program that was the kings of the Big 12. Baker Mayfield, Kyler Murray, Jalen Hurts, Bob Stoops, Lincoln Riley. Moving to the SEC, they had a lot of doubters. They had a bad year last year, went 6-7. This year, they have an opportunity to remind all of us that Oklahoma is king of college football. And that starts tonight. Boomer Sooner, baby. Should be super fun. There's some more games tomorrow that I won't preview right now, but I will preview in the next episode. Again, those games are Oregon, James Madison, Tulane, Ole Miss, and Miami, Texas A&M. I'm very excited for that Texas A&M Miami game. I wouldn't be surprised if Miami pulled the upset. A&M, a good team, but they have played a lot of lower, less competitive teams and barely won. So watch out. Miami could upset them. Could be very interesting. All right, guys, let's shift our focus to the NFL. Now, the NFL has 3 weeks left. Crazy game. I'm filming this on Friday. Absolutely crazy game last night, Thursday Night Football. The Seahawks and the Rams. I thought the Rams were going to run away with this. The Rams were up 2 scores in the 4th quarter, and the Seahawks storm all the way back, force overtime. Rams score first, and then the Seahawks go down the field and score and go for 2. Eric Saubert catches the pass, and the Seahawks win. Absolutely incredible. Game of the year candidate. Huge implications in the playoff. Seattle is now the number 1 seed in the NFC. Rams drop down to number 5. As you can see here, this is the ESPN NFL playoff machine. I love playing with this. You get to pick the winner of each game, and it shows you how it implicates or how it applies to the NFL playoff picture. As you can see here, Seahawks have already won, and we can go through here and I'll make my picks and we'll see how it affects the playoff picture. But if the playoffs started today in the AFC, Denver Broncos 12-2, they would be the number 1 overall seed, home field advantage throughout the entire playoffs. That would be huge. Now, I got to say this, the AFC is wide open, sort of. The Chiefs are out, the Bengals are out, the Ravens might not even make it. So you got 3 powerhouses there in Lamar, Joe Burrow, and Mahomes that won't be in the playoffs this year. You still have Josh Allen. And this is why I say the door is open, sort of. Because Denver, they're the number 1 seed. They're hot, 11 wins in a row. New England, 11-3. They're playing very good. Jacksonville's very hot, 10-4. Houston's playing very hot at 9-5. The Chargers are a threat, 10-4. The Bills. Here's my problem. Broncos, they made the playoffs last year, but before then it had been 9 years since they made the playoffs. So they don't have a ton of experience with the current roster. So I worry about them. Same with New England. Current roster hasn't had a lot of playoff experience. I worry about them. Jacksonville hasn't had a lot of luck in the postseason. I worry about them. Pittsburgh's good, but not great. Chargers, same thing. I worry about them. In Houston, I think Houston's good. They have a very good defense. I don't know if, at the 7 seed, they're at a huge disadvantage. And historically, the 7 seed hasn't done that well. So the Bills, this is their year. If the Bills and Josh Allen do not win the Super Bowl this year, they might not win it ever. You heard me. You absolutely heard me. Because who's coming back next year? Burrow will be back next year. Mahomes will be back next year. Lamar will be back next year. The Broncos will only get better. The Patriots will only get better. Theoretically, Jacksonville and the Chargers and the Texans. This is your opportunity, Bills. Currently, they're the 6th seed. If the playoffs started today, the Houston Texans would play the New England Patriots. Bills would play the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Chargers would play the Steelers. Over on the NFC side, now this is very fascinating because as you can see, the Lions are not currently in the playoff field. Now, same thing with the Lions. They want to win a Super Bowl. This is their year because the AFC is arguably less competitive, per se. Not saying the Broncos, Patriots, or Jaguars cannot beat the Lions, but I'm just saying they don't have the Chiefs, they don't have the Bengals, they don't have the Ravens. The Lions, this is an opportunity for them, but they're not even in the field right now because the Packers are ahead of them. The Niners are good. The Rams may be the best team in the NFC. The Seahawks are the number 1 seed. Of course, you have the Eagles in the conversation and the Bears surprising everyone at 10-4. It should be very interesting these last 3 weeks. What will happen? The AFC picture, for all intents and purposes, is pretty much set. The only thing that could really change, I guess, Pittsburgh could lose their AFC North division to the Ravens, but the Colts the numbers are against them. They're arguably out. The Dolphins are out with this loss. The Chiefs got out. The Bengals got out. So at this point, it's just seeding. It's who's going to get the number 1 seed, who's going to get home field. That's what the AFC is about. NFC, there's still some room for some fluctuation, some room for teams to move around. The Lions are still in the mix. Theoretically, the Cowboys are still in the mix. And the Carolina Panthers are still in the mix for that NFC South title with Tampa Bay. So the NFC has a lot more moving parts. AFC picture is pretty much set. Should be very fascinating. I'm going to quickly make my picks here for Week 16. I'm going to go with the Philadelphia Eagles over the Washington Commanders. I'm going to go with the Green Bay Packers over the Bears. Now, as you can see here, as I selected that, it moves the Packers to the 2nd seed, and the Bears drop down to 7. So every game matters because you want home field advantage in the postseason. That's just a given wherever you go. This game doesn't matter, but I like the Saints in this one. I like the Bills on the road against the Cleveland Browns. I'm still going to go with the Chiefs to beat the Titans, even though the Chiefs are out and their season's over. Give me the Chargers over the Cowboys. Now, this would knock the Cowboys out of playoff contention. Give me the Vikings over the Giants. Give me the Panthers at home. Now, as you can see, with that win, the Panthers would be projected to be in, but we still have 2 weeks left, so hold your horses. I'll take the Bengals over the Dolphins. Give me the Broncos over the Jags. What a fun matchup that will be. I'm excited to watch that come Sunday. Cardinals over Falcons. Give me the Texans at home. Give me the Lions to beat the Steelers. Give me Patriots over Ravens. Actually, I'm going to go with Ravens over Patriots. Could be a fun one. And give me 49ers over Colts. So after making a few of those picks, the teams have shuffled around a little bit. Again, you can go through each week and make each pick, and it'll change the NFL playoff picture and the way that it's projected. Should be super fun, should be super interesting. Again, a lot of fun NFL matchups this week in the NFL. Let me know what you guys think down below. College football playoff predictions, NFL playoff predictions. We're getting to that time of year where it is just crazy. The holidays, postseason football, it's awesome. I absolutely love it. You guys go have a wonderful Christmas. I may or may not film an episode before Christmas. I will for sure after Christmas. So if I don't see you by then, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, enjoy your family, enjoy quality time. Remember why we celebrate Christmas. Remember the season. I appreciate you guys listening. Again, Fan Talk's a fan podcast you can find anywhere you get your podcast. I'll see you guys next week for another edition of Fan Talk. Boomer Sooner.